Thanks for joining me for my weekly message covering values that turn ordinary people into extraordinary leaders. This week's message is plant optimism or nothing. A farmer and his brand new bride were riding home from the chapel in a wagon pulled by a team of horses when the older horse stumbled. The farmer said, "That's once." A little further along, the poor old horse stumbled again. The farmer said, "That's twice." After a little while, of course, the poor old horse stumbled one more time. The farmer didn't say anything this time, but reached under the seat, pulled out a shotgun, and shot the horse. His brand new bride yelled, telling him that was an awful thing to do. The farmer said, "That's once." Now, there is an owner who knows how to remove anything negative in his path and how to turn negative people into a positive support system. Although I really wouldn't recommend that you develop your support system with intimidation, although many owners sure do, don't they? There really is nothing more necessary to leadership than alleviating all roadblocks, being the proverbial optimist, and developing a positive support system from your staff. Are you only planting seeds of optimism, or do you spread a little pessimism along the way, too? Be careful. Remember, you reap what you sow. And you sow seeds in 3 different ways. 1, in yourself. It starts with you and your self-talk. Do you wake up in the morning excited to implement that new plan about how that new plan with aprons and how efficient it's going to be and how much it's going to help you? Or do you wake up going, "Why am I doing this? I can't believe I got talked into this. Those aprons are not going to help anymore. As a matter of fact, they're just going to cost me employees. They could walk out the door." Well, number one, if you really feel that way, I have to ask you, why are you doing this in the first place? Have you been intimidated by someone into making a decision that you don't agree with? Or are you thinking that you can't pull it off? That's a pessimistic attitude. Stop it. Go in there with optimism. Know it will work because you know what? It is a good idea and it will work. So be optimistic. Another way you lay a seed of optimism or pessimism is with sharing a thought verbally with someone outside your company, a friend perhaps. You tell them, "Oh, I'm doing something stupid. I should know better." Or you go, "I'm so excited. I can't wait." That seed will start to grow tomorrow when that person calls you back and either says, "So was it a disaster?" or they say, "Did it really work great?" So it's an optimistic response, a pessimistic response, a seed you planted. Or worse than anything, saying it to one internal staff person. When you're little and you have 2, 3, 4, 5 employees, it's hard not to share your thoughts, your enthusiasm, or your skepticism with one of your employees. If you do that, whatever seed you plant is a seed that will sprout and grow. And if you think it's not going to spread over to other employees before you actually kick it off, you're fooling yourself. So are you telling an employee, "Well, what do you think? Are they going to buy this? Is this really stupid? What do you think? Are you going to quit if I bring the aprons out?" Is that the conversation you're having? Or are you talking to somebody else saying, "Oh my gosh, you aren't going to believe this. It's going to save you so many steps. You won't have as many redos. This is phenomenal." What seed are you planting that's going to grow and spread to other employees in your company? Because you know, once your thoughts are spoken, they become reality. You can't stop the thoughts, but you can stop from giving them life by not speaking them. You can talk yourself and your employees into or out of success by whether or not your words are positive, negative, optimistic, or pessimistic. Believe in ownership. Believe in your skills. Believe in your knowledge. And most of all, believe in your belief of yourself. You cleaned houses before, you know what you're doing. If you have the maturity to say cleaning houses myself versus having others clean it en masse is totally different, and you want to learn more knowledge about it, go get it and be proud of yourself for having the ability to step out of your vision, your range, and go get that knowledge rather than going, oh, if I reach out to somebody else, I'm admitting some lack of skill or knowledge in myself. Oh, my gosh, if only we all knew everything about everything. It is not reaching out to get it that makes us pessimistic people, not optimistic people. The optimist is always looking for a better way. They're always seeking more knowledge. And then when you find something, latch onto it and have faith in it that it's really going to work. I think many of you have followed my client, Ashley. She believes in flyers to the point that I met with her every single week last year. And I remember halfway through a month, she does 1,250 flyers a week. Halfway through the month, 2,500 flyers, not one sale. She was going for one sale a week. She's 2 sales behind for the month. She said, Sharon, I know they're going to work. I believe in this. I've seen it work. I know it's going to work. And on blind faith, she put out another 2,500 flyers. She put her $5,000 out for that month. And you know what? The last week of that month, she got 5 sales. Well, actually, the last 4 days of the month, she got 5 repeat sales. She never gave up. She never gave up her faith. She didn't stop at 2,500 and not fulfill it for the month and say, well, if they come in, then I'll do some more. She didn't let any negative words stop her positive actions, and look at how Ashley has become. Ashley's a success. We all know that. She realizes change is not always immediately visible. Same thing with your employees. If you continue to nurture them and grow with them and have one-on-ones with them and you're positive with them and you only put in them seeds of inspiration and optimism, they're going to develop into optimistic, mature, unbelievable employees. When you face a challenge, you got 2 thought patterns you can go. You can either go, the problem is too big, I'm never going to be able to see my way through it, or you can go, we've seen this before, oh my gosh, this will be a snap. And besides that, God doesn't give me anything bigger than I can handle. Pessimist, optimist. It's your thought pattern. It's what you can do. It's what you verbalize, however, that counts the most. Perhaps you would never understand your strengths if you didn't have all these challenges. Look at them as a challenge and not a problem. An optimist looks at the challenge as a challenge. A pessimist looks at the challenge as a problem. Embellish that challenge and grow from it. I never would have thought of 3-people teams or using non-bilingual employees had it not been for a challenging situation I faced, one of the worst in my life. I came out learning so much. When things are the most challenging, speak the most positive words, be the most optimistic, know that there is a way that you can come through this. Or you know what? Say nothing. Thanks for joining me. I hope to see you again next week with next week's message. And may you have an optimistic week where everything that comes out of your mouth is nothing more than positive, optimistic, upbeat, and truly at times that you have the wherewithal and the maturity to truly say nothing. Thanks. See you next week.